Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Roll the Move Reviews Wish List. I have with me today some distinguished panelists. To my right,
I am Fat Devo.
and to my left.
And I'm Fat Sub-Zero.
Today we're going to talk about, in honor of Halloween, 3 horror properties that we want to see turn into board games. Horror games are huge. It's a huge subgenre of gaming, and we just want to talk about some ideas that we have that have been made yet and should. So the way this works, we give our ideas, we put it out there, someone grabs it, runs with it, and the 3 of us get ridiculously wealthy from the checks that can roll it in. So get to work, Internet. We're doing our part, you do yours. So we each picked 3 properties, right?
Right.
And this could be anything, movies, books, just stories you heard as a kid. So we'll start out. Sub-Zero, why don't you start us out?
Oh.
Round 1, fight!
Okay, the game I picked was based on a movie called Tremors. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know what that is, but it was basically a movie where there were these giant worm creatures moving around underground, and they'd come up out of the ground out of nowhere and just eat the characters. Wasn't a great movie, but I think it would make a fantastic game. What you could have is you could have one person controlling the creatures, and it could be a secret movement game. Maybe he moves them around on a separate notepad or a separate map, and the other players have to accomplish missions on the board by moving across the areas where his creatures might be able to get at him. And they would pop up out of nowhere, and they would be able to kill off the other characters. So I just thought that would be a fun theme. That it'd be something a little different, a twist on the hidden movement genre, where usually one person is controlling one individual moving secretly on the board. But with this, the person who's controlling the monsters is the one who's moving secretly.
What's the name of that kid's game where you have the magnet at the bottom and you're moving something at the bottom of the board, same time you're moving at the top?
Magic Labyrinth,
Yeah.
I think.
That'd be cool if you could get something there like that, like physically actually moving it under the board.
Physically, there's 2 layers to
Yeah.
it, and they're not allowed to see under it, but you can see under it from your advantage.
Yeah.
And bring up
See
the
where
creatures.
they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You ever seen Tremors, Cody?
No.
That's
No,
Devo.
I have not.
Devo.
Oh, Devo.
All right. My first pick is a movie I watched when I was a kid. And back in the 80s, there was a whole genre of movies that really spoke to kids my age. Movies about adventure, and like basically the kids are on their own, there are no adults. You had movies like E.T. and Goonies, just classic movies that really spoke to my generation. And one of those movies was one that took that idea and put it in the horror genre. And that movie is Monster Squad. It took a group of kids, just like if you see Goonies, or the same archetypal group of children, and they went up against Dracula, Frankenstein, who else did they fight? The Mummy, Werewolf, and Creature from the Blue Lagoon. And it was just a really fun game, and I'd like to see this as a sandbox game. Like, I want to be able to play as we're all the kids and we're fighting the monsters, or we're all the monsters and we're fighting the kids, or maybe one group of players takes the monsters, one takes the kids, everybody's fighting. But I just really like that idea of combining those classic monsters into one big mashup, and B, just the theme of that movie. It was funny, it was scary, it was exciting. I think it'd make a great game.
Something else that does that's sort of a more modern version of that license is Goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there's a movie out now that sounds a lot like that, where all the classic movie monsters come up out of their books and invade the real world.
Well, you just killed my next idea.
So,
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Well, if that was your next idea, then that was pretty much your first idea.
Devo, what do you got for us?
Okay, my first game would be a game based on Stephen King's work of The Stand. And how that would work is one player would play the character Randolph Flagg, and the other players would play either just civilians or politicians. Maybe it would be a political game. And at the beginning of the game, there would be a hidden traitor element where the player who's Randolph Flagg, only he would know who he is, and he's secretly trying to sabotage the other players. And then in the middle of the game, it would be revealed, and the better he did at the beginning of the game, the easier the rest of the game would be for him. And at the end, there'd be an end game, like a goal that all the players are trying to accomplish. Either Randolph Flagg by himself or the other players collectively.
I'm going to imagine like a big world map and like, or at least the United States.
Right.
Everybody like in the story, like everybody kind of converge, you come to the same place.
Right.
That'd be good, like pandemic type feel.
I was thinking even like a political game. Maybe Randolph is running for maybe all the players are presidential candidates or
Okay.
something, and
That's
they're
a
all
cool way to
trying to
get the
get
story.
elected.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot you could do with that story. That's just a huge, epic, grand scale story. So I think you could make a lot of different really cool games of that. We do that one.
How's that a horror game?
What?
Running for president.
That's true.
Well, it's like Satan running for president, so that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
Satan-
really? See, I know nothing about that.
Oh, okay.
I know nothing about the subject matter.
Yeah, no,
Stuff.
he's like this. He's basically the devil.
He's
And he's come to
Antichrist.
Earth. Yeah, and he's come to Earth to like wipe everybody out. So,
So
him
you
be-
run for president, but you're the devil. That's cool.
cool. All right, my second pick. I took a movie like my last one. I took something that combined classic monsters, and this one I'm kind of doing the same thing, but in a different way. I'm modernizing it in that I'm taking the more modern horror monsters and putting them together in a game called Slasher, and this one would be Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Leatherface, Chucky, just any unstoppable beast that's been in like a bunch of different horror sequels coming together. Very competitive game where the goal is to get the biggest body count. You'd have
Oh, that sounds awesome.
yeah, and obviously you can't kill each other. So you can't. You're all indestructible. So all you can do is kind of make sure that most of the victims come to you. While any problems that can be created go to the other people. So it'd be really just crazy and like backstabby and just. I mean, obviously it's going to be a mature theme. It's going to be rated M. It's not going to be for everybody, but licensing would be a nightmare with all these different properties. But I definitely think that it'd be really just a cool game for the right group would really get into that. I think just going out and just wiping you have it like at a college campus or a summer camp or something like that, and just wipe out a bunch of stupid teenagers. And I think that'd be pretty
I
fun.
gotta be honest. I got a big smile under this.
I think that'd be
Sub-Zero
a good idea with even generic monsters.
Yeah. I guess you definitely could do that. You can make versions of those characters and definitely
Archetypes.
make it known who they're supposed to be without getting sued. Hopefully,
That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that's a winner.
that'd be pretty cool. What's your next idea?
Well, my next one was Cabin in the Woods. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but basically, without giving any spoilers, there's an organization who has to conduct a ritual constantly in order to satisfy gods who want to destroy the earth. And so they bring in teenagers, and then they try to sacrifice them in a ritual way. But in this particular game, what you would do is you'd be an organization controlling all kinds of different creatures. A little bit like what you said, but the creatures are more... I don't know that there's any necessarily major movie monsters in it. But
No, it's like you said, it's archetypes.
yeah, it's more archetypes. And so the organization would have to send out these creatures to try to kill off the characters in a certain order. Maybe one person plays the organization and the other people play the characters trying to survive. And and so I just thought that would be a fun theme to add to a board game. So.
For the record, almost everything you just said was a spoiler. So,
Okay.
spoiler alert.
Yes.
You haven't seen Cabin in the Woods.
Fatality!
Yeah.
You have now.
All right. Cody, what's your last idea?
Second.
Is this your second idea?
Yeah, we've only done two.
Oh, okay. What's your next idea?
My next idea is a game based on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And it'd be a simple card game where it'd be a two-player card game where each player fights for the titular character's sanity, pretty much.
Nice word. I like that.
Thanks.
You
Continue.
look like a construction worker.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Just two-player game?
Yep.
Oh, I like that idea. What do you think?
Yeah, I love the theme.
Yeah, that
I love a card game where you're the same person, just from different perspectives.
that could get pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like it.
What happens if you had to like share a hand of cards or something? Something that really captures the theme of being one person working both sides.
No, that'd be cool. Like you have to interchange like a certain play. There's things that make you, even if you have cards that you don't want, you know what I mean. You have to play them
Yeah.
because maybe that's the thing. You load the other guy's cards or the other guy's hand with as many of your cards, and turn him into your version of that guy. So you completely take over.
I
Yeah,
can
take
see
a
that.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
take a little thinking to work through the mechanics, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of ways you could capture that dynamic.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd like that.
I think that's fun too.
Good one, Cody.
Thank you, sir. Keep
What do
calling
you
me
got?
Cody. The name's Devo.
Sorry, Codivo.
Again, he doesn't even know who Devo is. You cover up the O, it just looks like you're a land developer with a
Dev.
yellow
I'm Dev.
Dev.
with a
D.
construction
Nice.
hat on.
It works.
Fat Devo.
All right, my next one.
Yeah.
Mine is a Funhouse of Doom. That's my last game. I thought it would be awesome for one person to sit back and have all kinds of tools and pieces, and they design the layout of the Funhouse. And they set up the rooms, they set up the traps, the cards, and then they unleash the whole thing, their setup on the players who have to survive and make it to the other side of the Funhouse. Basically, it would be you create, and then you watch the other people and laugh as you sit back and watch them unable to make
Okay.
it through your creation. I thought that might give you a little bit of that sadistic delight that you get from, some of these horror movies, but it would be captured in an actual game.
So it'd almost be like a pre-programmed movement game, but just from one side. Like one person programs, the other players go through.
One person gets to design and set up the rooms. Maybe each room has different. They modify the rules a little bit, and there's different traps available to that room and different creatures. Maybe you set up the board, and it's a long board. You can put the traps where you want them and the creatures where you want them and bluff cards down, and they play characters. And then after you've set up the board, they have to actually play through the game. Maybe they got to move when there's grids on the board. I haven't really given it that much thought, but I thought it would be fun to watch them try to survive your creation,
Yeah.
which you make on the fly. Most games give you pre-programmed scenarios, and there's a lot of thought and balance that go into it. But with this would be one person as part of the game, laying it out, designing it, and then sitting back and laughing
cool.
as the players try to get through it.
That'd be fun. What do you think about that one, Cody? Or
Sounds
Devo?
sounds like a good game.
Yeah, I definitely play. Yeah, I like that fun. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff you can put in there. Just like I said, like a mirror maze.
A
and
mirror maze, exactly.
Just all kinds of really cool stuff. Yeah, yeah,
Clowns, gotta have clowns.
yeah. And you could just that's something you could just keep expanding and make bigger and bigger. That'd be a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
somebody's the barker, and they get to
Yeah.
set it up, and then other people play the victims.
That'd be awesome. All right, my last game is one that, well, it's not really a game, it's a series of games, and Cody kind of touched on it. Right now, the biggest name in horror gaming is H.P. Lovecraft, and that's based on his extensive work and the stories he's written. And the modern day Lovecraft is Stephen King, and he's been writing horror stories for decades now. And over the past 10 or 15 years, it's kind of come to light that he's been writing all along all of his stories within the same shared universe. And so I thought it would be cool, and this is just one game, I'm not just showing one game, I want to see a series of games based on that Stephen King universe, similar to how there's a whole mess of games based on Lovecraft. And, I mean, if you go with the Dark Tower series alone, I mean, you can pull dozens of games from that. But as far as like his real world stuff, I'd want to see the flagship game would be called Castle Rock, which is the fictional city that a lot of his stories take place in. And it would be similar to how Arkham is the flagship Lovecraft game, where all these horrors would be coming to Castle Rock. You'd have like Pennywise the Clown, you'd have Cujo, Christine the Car, the Langoliers, Leland Gaunt from Needful Things. And the characters would play as Stephen King heroes. You'd have like the kids from It, you'd have the kids from Stand By Me. You'd have, Paul Edgecombe from Green Mile. You get to play as Andy Dufresne. Who wouldn't get to play a game as Andy Dufresne? That would be awesome. But just really mix that universe together. The way I think it really, if you read his books, it's hinted in there that it's all in one place, and to really bring it together would be cool. I'd also want to see a game called The Overlook, based on The Shining, where you're fighting the management, the evil spirits that run the hotel, and you're playing as Danny Torrance, and you can mix other characters in that with it as well. I wanted to do a stand game with, like I said, a big pandemic style, worldwide, just the good versus evil type of game. You could do an LCG where every expansion is one of his novels, and just brings new characters and a new story.
So you basically want to see his gaming universe.
Yeah.
Open up in games.
Exactly,
the same way
yeah.
we did Lovecraft.
Yeah, I just think there's so much potential there, and you can just run. You want to do a zombie game, you have The Cell. You want to do a vampire game, you have Salem's Lot. He's hit so many different subgenres of horror that you could cover anything and put one of his stories in it. Now, I believe Lovecraft is public domain, so that's a lot cheaper than it would be for them to make these games. But Fantasy Flight can take care of it. They could foot that bill.
They would recoup their money when Will Wheaton ran it on tabletop and then played himself as one of the characters from Stand By
That
Me.
would be awesome.
That would be.
Make it happen, Will. I know you're watching. Cody, you got one more game for us?
Yep. Okay. My last game is a game called King Kong, and it'd be a 3 to 4 player game where the players try to fight King Kong as he fights the tower at the end of the movie, and the game would end whenever if he reaches the top. All the players lose.
Would it be like a 3-dimensional thing? Would you have them actually
There would
climb
have
in?
to be like some vertical element. To
I
it.
don't
That'd
think
be
so.
cool.
No,
Or just a real long
I think
board
that'd be
with
cheesy.
him moving up?
I think that would make more sense. I'd like that more. I was thinking like 10 or 12 stages. And once if you don't kill him by stage 12, then he's reached the top.
He's
and he
reached the
wins.
top.
Sounds like it'd make a good solitaire game where you were playing against a deck of cards and maybe there were various planes and things in that deck that try to kill you off as you climb.
Right. Something like that where, like you said, maybe a deck of cards where it's randomly shuffled, and he does stuff. Like the card will come up where it says he regains 5 hit points, or
He can grab the airplane and throw them at the other airplanes. That'd be cool. But you know what? 'Twas beauty killed the beast.
you're dumb.
Isn't all shuffling random?
Okay, that's our list of horror movies and books and stories that we want to see turned into games. Leave us a comment. Let us know. What do you think? What horror stuff hasn't been made? There's so much out there. There wasn't a lot to pick from for us. This was a challenge because so much has been done. But is there anything out there that you'd like to see turned into a game and get to play and experience in that format? Leave us a comment. Let us know. I want to thank my guests, Sub-Zero,
Fat Devo.
Big Diva over here.
Hadouken!
Let us know who you think would win this fight, Rex Kwon Do or Sub-Zero. Who do you think would win that fight, Diva?
I'm the ref. I'm not placing any bets.
You know why I'd win?
What's that?
Because I block it every time. All right, thanks everybody. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Facebook page. Thank you to these two guys. They did an awesome job. I think everybody's feeling a little under the weather, and they stuck it out, so they were good sports about it. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Have a happy Halloween. Got some more videos to come before the month's over. Hope you're enjoying it. And see you soon.
That's my costume. I'm the good sport.